working together today to help create a brighter future for tomorrow. This is Skull Babylon, and you're listening to episode 38 of Paradigm Shift Radio, the global community show for the purpose of education and inspiration. On this episode, we welcomed on Tarek Bibi, conscious hip-hop artist and facilitator, to help people reach their spiritual potential. Tarek shares the inspiration behind the work he does and provides some practical direction to help all of us work towards manifesting the realities we wish to see. In themes with self-empowerment and community education, our good friends Nathaniel Solis and Amateo Roth stopped by to briefly tell us about the new Creator Course program to help us gather and present resources more efficiently as a collective community as a means to help us each strive towards our greater potentials. To wrap up the show, we shifted gears with our friends Risto from Paradigm Shift Estonia to talk about his vivid experiences of communicating with entities within the inner realms, aka Hollow Earth, aka Agartha. Be sure to share this episode on YouTube, and be sure to check out this episode on YouTube if you're listening to it on Blog Talk. Join us on Facebook, tell your friends, be inspired, and enjoy the show. Think twice at once. You're listening to Paradigm Shift Radio, and this is your co-host, your dedicated brother in light, comrade in fighting for a better future, one thought at a time, Skull Babylon, aka Brendan Culleton. And thank you guys once again for tuning in to another episode of Paradigm Shift Radio. Tonight on the show, we're going to be having a few things going on. But before I even get too much into it, again, for those of you in the live chat, if you guys can just confirm for me that my microphone is sounding okay. Pretty sure it is, and we'll be going forward from there. So, yeah, man. All right, cool. I just got a message from something that I was about to mention. So we got a good lineup on the show tonight. So we're going to have on Tarek Bibi, who is a musician from Toronto, who is a hip-hop artist and very lyrical with his work, and also a healer. And I use the term healer loosely because he's I'll let him describe what he does, but he does a lot of like advising, like spiritual advising, and like psychological reflection, I guess you could say. But we'll have him on the show, and we'll be sharing his music, and we'll be going from there. And then shortly after that, another person who I have lined up for us is a buddy of ours from Paradigm Shift Estonia, and he contacted me, and we're going to be talking about, I'm pretty sure this is where we're going with it, but we're probably going to be talking about Agartha. And Agartha, for those of you familiar with, is like the idea of like hollow earth, the idea that like within the core of the earth, there isn't just like pure matter. It's actually like a dimensional rift to a sort of a different density, or there's like this actual like place where different entities inhabit it in a different way that we perceive reality. So that's some pretty cool, exciting stuff. I know a lot of you are excited about the idea of Agartha, Hollow Earth, and whatnot. So we'll be talking about that. Before we get there, just going to do a little bit of community news. And again, guys, if you're in the live chat, please feel free to get the word out there. So post this on your Facebook pages and on your Twitters and on your Googles, and just get as many people as we can involved with this, because the exciting thing about Paradigm Shift Radio, if I was looking at this from like the broader perspective, is the idea that there's actually like a narrative that plays out over time, like from one episode onwards and into the future. And I mean, if you think back, if you were to like look at all 37 episodes that we've done prior to this one, sort of like as chapters in a book, you can literally see like the evolution of the community and us as individuals, and us being a reflection of sort of where thoughts are at these days. So it's really cool. And that, in that sense, I want more people to be able to get involved so that they can get involved with this story sooner on, before we really get to like the exciting stuff. I sort of want them to be involved in just sort of like the prelude to the stuff that's always around the corner, and it's always exciting. Like it really is. And this episode, like I said, is going to be pretty cool in itself. So in terms of community news, guys, I will just mention that there is a new Paradigm Shift community that we are happy to announce, and that is Paradigm Shift Wisconsin. So I'm going to post a link for that in the live chat, and you'll see a link for it on the facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Central website in the near future. And shout out to them. Check out their page, like it even if you aren't in the area, and just show them your support. That's the only new Paradigm Shift community for this week. Though, just in terms of other community news, I just got to mention to you guys, be sure to check out the Journey to Lucidity funding campaign, which I still have running, and that's related to the Lucidity Festival that I am attending in April. And any donations that you guys can contribute to that helps me be able to put more like focused energy into creating a super awesome new full-length movie out of that we'll be able to share with people all across the world. So again, GoFundMe.com/Journey to Lucidity or ParadigmShiftCentral.com/JTL. And of course, www.ParadigmShiftCentral.com is the main website. If you happen to be new to the show, go there and you've got links for everything. And the fact that, just mentioning Journey to Lucidity, that also sets me up for mentioning what we do have coming up in Paradigm Shift in the weeks to come. And what we will be having on the show next week as a special guest, we'll be having on some of the crew, like the director from the Bloom series, which is a documentary series that is going to be releasing their first episode online the week following that, so around March 22nd. Second-ish. I just got to double check on that. But the Bloom series is a crew that's been traveling from Transformational Festival from one to another all over the world and trying to tell the story about what happens there, opposed to just looking at it from a distance and just being like, oh, that's just a bunch of like new age hippies, right? Like obviously like that's what people would sort of say, but what's actually happening in there? What's actually like happening to the people? What's happening to them like on a personal level, and what are they like representing? What are they bringing to this experience? So that's very cool, and it will be very exciting to talk with them so close to the launch of that first episode. So again, Facebook.com/The Bloom Series or www.thebloomseries.com, and of course support their project in whatever way you can, either just by checking it out, sharing it on your page, or donating and so forth. So in addition to that, another new thing to introduce to what we got sort of in our community interactivity within Paradigm Shift Central community is this new thing that I started up called Paradigm Shift Crystalline Connection, or just call it Crystalline Connection in itself. Go to ParadigmShiftCentral.com/CC. So CC is in the letter C in the letter C for Crystalline Connection. ParadigmShiftCentral.com/CC. That's the website that I got up there for now. That's pretty much just a duplicate of the event page, but that will link you into the event page. And what that is, for those of you who have been paying attention to Paradigm Shift Radio, and you know that we do these Google Hangouts afterwards, which are very cool, and it's through the Google video chat, and it's always a good way to be able to continue the conversation. So what Crystalline Connection is, it's actually an idea that I've had for quite a while. I was just waiting for the right time to implement it. It's a chance for anybody within the community to set up a video chat with other people in the Paradigm Shift community and also record it so that we can share it online with the global community. So rather than having to wait once a week for the Paradigm Shift Radio after party, if you want to do something similar with people who are also eager to get involved with a similar project, then put a post up in the event page and just be like, hey guys, does anybody want to have, do a video chat tonight at 7 p.m., and see who responds. And at first you might just find that it's just you and one other person, but as you post it again, and if I'm online, like I'll either join or post it on the Facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Central page, and then that will encourage more people to join. And even if you just have like 5-6 people, like that's actually quite a bit for a video chat, and that's really all you need. So we encourage you to do that way. So again, we want to be able to create like self-sufficiency. That's an important thing, right? We want to be able to give each other the opportunity to say like, hey, like I feel like going out there and talking with my community, and I feel like talking to people online, so I'm going to create a video chat with Crystalline Connection. So again, ParadigmShiftCentral.com/CC, check that out, and we definitely encourage you guys to do that. And 11:11 on the dot for the time being. And now, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a unique episode because due to daylight savings time, we at least in my time zone, like since this goes between 11 to 1, we're actually going to be like going through some sort of temporal rift where we'll like fall back an hour, and we'll be stuck in Saturday for an extra hour longer. So we'll have an extra hour of Psychic Saturday here on Paradigm Shift Radio, which will be who knows what will happen. But it's just kind of funny, and that really doesn't happen that often, so definitely a first. And let me just think anything else we need to mention in terms of links. So again, ParadigmShiftCentral.com, Facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Radio if you have not yet. Go to the Lucidity Festival at LucidityFestival.com. Go to the GoFundMe page for the Journey to Lucidity at GoFundMe.com/Journey to Lucidity. Check out the BloomSeries.com, and in the meantime, check out the website for Tarek Bibi, because he is going to be coming on the air in a couple minutes, or literally less than a minute. So Tarek Bibi, www.TarekBibi. So Tarek Bibi, as it sounds pretty much. So again, he's a musician, he's a hip-hop artist, and I'm just going to read you a quick little bio about him before we bring him onto the air. So just one second. All right. So Tarek Bibi is a Toronto-based hip-hop artist who is on the verge of releasing his newest album. And more than that, though, Tarek Bliss Bibi has changed the lives of thousands of people worldwide. He works with business owners and individuals on the spiritual path. Tarek Bibi, aka Mr. Miraculous, a facilitator of inner transformation, assisting spiritual individuals to transcend their emotional and psychological blocks to live their life miraculously. He has been labeled an empath, indigo, a starseed, an earth angel, and a light worker. He earns the name Mr. Miraculous because of his breakthroughs he has assisted his clients in achieving. So you can check out more again at TarekBibi.com, and also I'll post the links to his both his sound page, his Bandcamp website, and as well as his YouTube page for both his music stuff and his other stuff. And just one thing I was thinking, just while mentioning that, in terms of like helping people reach their potential. And not to just plop this right in the middle of Tarek's introduction, but I will just mention this for those of you later. Pretty sure after we have my buddy talking about Agartha on, we're probably going to, presuming he's around, we will be having Nathaniel Solis on again, because I think he's got some news for us related to the Creator Course, which is, again, relating to this whole empowering thing that we're all really involved with. So if you're around later, just heads up, Nathaniel's probably going to be swinging by, and he's a pretty cool dude, as per usual. So with that said, we're going to bring on Tarek, who is the man of the moment. So Tarek, if you are ready, we're going to bring you on to Paradigm Shift Radio. Here we go. Hello, Tarek. Can you hear me?
Hey, brother. I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect, man. All right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this community thing that we do every week.
Thank you, man. I was getting teary-eyed just hearing you. It sounded so effortless how you're just spreading the seeds of community and let's get together and share. It's really, I felt that deeply. So thank you for all that you do.
Oh, thanks, man. That actually does mean a lot. You know, like it's something that's taken a lot of like energy and practice on my part. But at the end of the day, it's something where, you know, if I just sort of like take a breath before I start doing it, it really does just come like second nature. So yeah, I'm glad that comes off. So cool, man. Yeah. All right, so now that you're on the show, I'm going to allow you to sort of introduce yourself, you know, like who is Tarek Bibi from the perspective of Tarek Bibi?
Okay, so first of all, a big thank you and for having me on your show. Thank you to all the listeners. There's some powerful intentions set for this online gathering that we're having right now, just to create a powerful vortex of miracles, of blessings, of joy. I hope everyone can feel it. How would I describe myself? Just just a guy who's always been a little more different. I feel now, based on what people have said, is we're here to make changes. We're here to help. We're here to raise consciousness, wake people up a little, shake things up. Some people think I'm shy. Some people think I'm a social butterfly. I enjoy just being around nature, being around children, animals. Just a regular guy who's into hip hop music and into healing. So I don't know what else to say. Big heart.
Yeah,
big
for
heart.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
like
lots of love. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Like, when I first found out about you, I found out about you through your music. I either someone else posted it or I saw, or we just connected, and then I saw that you were posting it yourself and stuff, and I definitely, like that was the first thing that attracted me to like what you're doing, because I'm always interested in like creating more consciousness in this world through art, and music is just such a powerful way to do that. And then to find out that as I started like looking deeper into him, like, oh, okay, like this guy's not just a musician, like he's actually like quite involved with a lot of other stuff, which is pretty cool. Now, if you don't mind me asking, what year were you born in?
I was born in 82.
82. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So. Yeah. All right. Now, I mean, I'm really sort of letting you help me guide this in terms of which way you want to take it. I mean, we can talk about the music side of things, and and then we also got like the healing side of things.
Yeah.
And so, do you want to go towards the music side first?
So I definitely at some point would love to share actual an experiential shifting and healing of what I do, because we could talk about it all day, but when you experience it, it's a whole different thing. So that is available whenever we're ready for it.
Okay.
And from now till then, I mean, hugely passionate about healing. Been doing that for 6 years. Just recently, even though I've been recording for 10 years, I just recently decided to take that more seriously, and I'm getting a lot of synchronicities and signs to value what the power of music, especially hip hop, especially healing rap music and positive. So let's start with the rap and then move into healing, and then do something at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Cool. All right, so let's sort of like start off even just like with the name. Like, do you like what's your artist name that you go by?
So the artist name is LSD, like the drug, except it stands for Lovingly Spreading Divinity. And I feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm spreading that divinity, which is consciousness, which is love, which is however divinity decides to play itself out. There's many faces of it, and that's the acronym. Is that the right word? Acronym?
Yeah. No,
that's the acronym
that's definitely
that came through.
Yeah, no, it's definitely cool. Just in the sense that like it catches people's attention because it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? You know? And then it just sort of like gives us a chance to like reflect on the mirror. I mean, like, why can't LSD mean something then other than like the drug type thing? But then you also have the fact that like, people think LSD, they think psychedelic. But then when you think psychedelic, that doesn't necessarily just mean like quote unquote drugs, right? Like the term psychedelic means, like seeing like sort of like the godness. There's an actual do you know the actual definition of the term psychedelic?
I don't, but obviously based on some research, like LSD increases your consciousness, increases your awareness. So definitely, I lovingly, I'm integrating that part of it too, because that's what I hope my music helps people expand their awareness and consciousness without taking any risks.
Yeah, true. That's important. Yeah, exactly, right? So, I mean, listening to music can be a psychedelic experience. I mean, it's a matter of us sort of rechanging, how we sort of use our language and stuff. And I would love to see that. I would love to see the term psychedelic start appearing more commonly outside of like its direct connotation with the quote unquote drug use. Okay. So tell me, like, how does your music, like, what based on the energy that you put into it, like, how do you create it as a means for people to sort of like open up their consciousness?
Okay,
there's some magic going on there.
Yeah, you feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah, brother, thank you for sharing that. So the song that you're aware of, Power to the Peaceful, basically each song basically you can integrate an intention and an energy into. We're so powerful that we can just set an intention. For example, for this interview that we're having now, we can set the intention that while we're talking and people are listening, that we can set an intention that so much more happens, and whatever you want that to be, you can just declare it out loud when you're connecting to your higher self or source or God or universe, whatever word you resonate with. So with the album, I did the same thing because I do have a healing background. I'm like, how can we integrate both music and healing? So there's an intention behind the whole album that while you're listening to it, you're getting specifically from source energy whatever you need as a clearing, as a downloading into your being. And each song, for example, Power to the Peaceful, is all about, it was inspired by, the movement, the Occupy movement. So it was all about, let's take our power back, because the world is the way it is because we've given our power away. So that, if that's a problem out there, let's break it down into just me, the one person who's listening to the song. And if I just take my power back, I've done the most that I can do. I've played my part. Now I'm owning my power. I'm doing good with the power that I have. So the healing that's there in the background while you're listening to the song. So you're not just listening to these songs and getting motivated, inspired, and maybe being thought-provoking, but there's a healing that takes place. So anywhere where you as a human being are giving your power away to things outside of yourself, the healing in the background is helping you fully reclaim your power, own it, and use it for your highest good.
Cool. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. I mean, like, I don't know, like, how many artists would really like explain their music in that way, but I'm glad you did. So cool. And all right, yeah, I mean, I feel like it would be appropriate to play the track shortly. Is there something more that you just want to allow our people to sort of like mentally like to help frame them for the song? Like maybe anything more?
Well, yeah, just the Occupy movements, like it's not dead, like it still exists, and we're all playing our part. What you're doing here is you playing your part. What I'm doing with my music and healing is me playing my part. Imagine a world where we all played our part. And there's nothing wrong with politicians abusing power, because where did that power come from? Let's own the fact that we've given it away. So everything that's happening now is like us saying, let's take that back, and what will we do with that power? And so, yeah, just enjoy the song, and it's inspiring. It's basically thinking Gandhi, how he took out a whole army without using any violence. You know, I'm totally power. You know, the song's called Power to the Peaceful, and it's all about those that are fighting back with their consciousness, with their energy, with their intentions. Not to say that it doesn't have to get, not to say that it can get physical, but there's so much. Basically, it's the opposite of fighting the enemy and resisting. It's more like there's a different way of doing it where it's a different ball game. So that's what the song's inspired by.
Cool. Yeah, I was just going to say one thing just to add on to this from a conversation point of view. And I feel like, I don't know if I mentioned this on the last show. No, I don't think I have, but I know I've brought it up a couple times in real conversations. But it's this like simple idea that, you know, imagine your space or your mind or your energy as like a room, and then you have like anger enter the room. In a situation where anger like enters your living room, you know, use that term like metaphorically, you don't try and push anger out of the room. Like pushing anger out of the room isn't going to work. It's not going to work. So what you do is like you invite more love into the room, and again that takes us back to like this idea of like transmutation and stuff. So yeah, because I mean like love literally is like a vibration, and in the same way fear is a vibration, and in the same way like based on their relative like frequencies, like love will always transform fear, like from a scientific perspective. Like that's how it works. You know, and like that's how the universe works. It wouldn't really make sense in the bigger picture if it didn't work that way. You know, like that's the whole like symmetry being made out of chaos kind of thing. So, yeah. All right. Well, okay. So let's play the song here. So again, folks, this is Tarek Bibi, and this song is by LSD, which is Love Spreading Divinity. So is that?
Yeah, Lovingly Spreading Divinity, and it's off the album called Prival of the Spirit.
Cool. And don't you did your new album drop?
It's available online at lsdivinity.bandcamp.com, and we can post that, I guess, later on. lsdivinity.bandcamp.com, and tomorrow's the CD launch. So
awesome,
really
exciting stuff, man. All right, so guys, the link is into the show notes for lsdivinity.bandcamp.com. And in the meantime, here is Tarek Bibi's creation, LSD, Power to the Peaceful.
LSD, lovingly spreading divinity throughout this vicinity. Synchronistically find the key to unlock this mystery. This is dedicated to all the activists around the world, all the free thinkers, all the lovers of humanity, all the new children, co-creating the new world. I'm finally finding the reason to be breathing, leaving behind. You're deceiving me, blind to the facts. Read between the lines of this track. Your mind is addicted to crap. The blind leading the blind to a trap. Metamorphosized, I've shed my skin. Pick it up, deliver it to my next of kin. Tell them I've been blessed deep within in myself. My name is divine, coded and scripted in scriptures of the Quran. I was destined to come like the fall of Babylon. Cause what goes up must come down, and what goes out must come around. Do you feel this, the realness? I'm fearless by choice. I'm bringing the noise, I'm reading your thoughts, I'm screaming your voice. I'm flowing in synchronicity, rebel against demons in hell, escaping death like an evil himself. Man, the writing's on the wall, but nobody sees it. I will spoon feed it like you're a newborn fetus. Praying to Jesus, I'm moving you like telekinesis. When all I'm really doing, saying what I believe in. I'm connecting the dots like ancient Mesopotamian, fallen angelic aliens with wings cut off. Evil by design, our minds desynchronized. Stuck in a dream but can't open our eyes. Man, there's more to life than what you sense is. The truth has been messed with, now everyone's a skeptic. But we will see that we can all be free, cause we are people, we ain't sheeple. And we will see that we are all so free, that we are equal, we the people. We're taking it back. Power to the peaceful. Yeah. Power to the peaceful. To the people. With the voices and the will to make the choices. To act. To act now. Follow the leader, the greatest deceiver once. A listener to evil overcame, now a stronger believer. They say conspiracy theories are lies. Then why at times do cover-ups become declassified? Our eyes are open wide shut, subliminally mind fuck. This solution had me stuck, now I got a divine rush. You're gullible like a doctor's patient, patiently paying for a slow death. Like aspartame's okay for your health. We'll believe in anything except for ourselves. Truth collecting dust on the shelves, wasting our lives, reincarnated 1,000 times. A retard repeatedly banging his head on the wall. You misread the US, it spells are not you but us all. You're a son of a bitch, like Hitler was born, son of a rich Rothschild. It's deceitful, like Sharon claiming to be one of God's chosen people. And that includes the other 80% that have been misled. It's all a planned scam, like a bank charging interest on money that never existed. Like his therapist labeled him different when he was truly gifted. Yeah, I've been hearing your lies, but reading the truth. It's all a disguise, your face in your suit. Sold your soul for a price just like a prostitute. It's a shame we figure out the game only when it's too late to make a change from this state. And from this day on, I refuse to be a pawn. I refuse to sing along. I refuse to play along in this deception. Laughing, cause the system's crashing and my soul's traveling into a different dimension, laughing, cause the system's crashing and my soul's traveling into a different dimension. I'm laughing, cause the system's crashing and my soul's traveling into a different dimension. I'm laughing, cause the system's crashing and my soul's traveling into a different dimension. I'm laughing, cause the system's crashing and our souls traveling into a different dimension. I'm laughing, cause the system's crashing and our souls traveling into a higher dimension. Into a higher dimension. And so it is.
All right, guys. So there you had it. That was Power to the Peaceful by Tarek Bibi, who's with us tonight on Paradigm Shift Radio, and his new album is dropping officially, like within a very short time, and will be available to you guys. So again, go to his website at lsdivinity.bandcamp.com and you can check that out and definitely put his what he is doing. So yeah, good job, man. Thumbs up. Like you can't
Thank
see
you,
it,
brother.
You can't see it, but I'm giving you a thumbs up right now. So.
Thank you. And you can actually sample the whole album on that link, lsdivinity.bandcamp.com, and obviously the quality of the sound is going to be so much better when you hear it there. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just listen to it this one time through Blog Talk. You're not getting the full experience, I promise. Yeah. I was in the meantime, I was just looking up like what the term, like the Greek origin of the term like psychedelic it sort of came from, and it basically means like clear mind. Is basically what it means. So, like psyche and delos. So, which is, again, so I mean, the term psychedelic doesn't necessarily by any means have to relate to like use of psychedelics. It can be referring to meditation. I mean, my one of my good friends who gets really deep into dream exploration, he will explain his dream exploration experiences as being very psychedelic, so to speak. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, I like there's a lot of lyrics within that song. One that caught my ear specifically was in the first verse, and it's basically, I was destined to come like the fall of Babylon. And I was just like, So, I want to maybe just talk about that line. Like, I mean, that's sure, like straight from your heart sort of thing.
Yeah, brother. Like, you know, obviously a part of my soul just knows there's definitely, you know, we've fell far from grace. And I feel in my soul, I know that, come on, guys, this is not the way it's meant to be. Like, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be miraculous. It's supposed to be a wonderful experience here, and it's far from that. So Babylon's just a word that's been there since the Bible, and it's like basically, you know, it's setting up a system for us to be tricked and sabotaged from knowing who we truly are and living life the way we're destined to live, which is a whole different way of, you know, a whole different paradigm that we're actually stepping into. So Babylon could be the word that represents that. So I've been destined to come because I'm here. So we're all, everyone who's listening, we're all destined to be here. Yeah, just like the fall of Babylon, that's destiny. It's destined to fall.
And even then, you know, just sort of like the line after that is like, what goes up must come down. So I mean, like one term that I always think of is like the fate of destruction is the joy of rebirth, and you know, not to get like too far into the conference, the topic of Babylon is just a really interesting topic in itself. Like even in the terms of like, what does that word mean, right? Because it can mean different things to different people. One of the terms that really catches my attention, and I wasn't fully aware of it meaning this until not too long ago, which is, you know, in terms of my name being Skull Babylon. Like even when I created my name, like I didn't fully do it with the intention of saying this is what it means. Like I was like, this is a name that will evolve over time, and it will be a reflection for people to take a meaning from it as they see it. But one of the terms that Babylon means is gateway, which I was always fascinated by. So and then, like, I mean, just not to take this, again, like, I'm just mentioning this, but I mean, even the term, like, my name, like, Skull Babylon, like, when I think of skull, you know, like, death and rebirth. And then, so it's like the rebirth of the like, use it through the gateway or something like that. So, yeah, it's no coincidence that I ended up with that name, and, you know, here we are, like, doing all this, like, global media stuff and everything. So, I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's pretty deep, brother. Yeah.
Yeah. It gets deeper, bro. We are constantly going down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
Well, let's keep doing that. Let's keep going down the rabbit hole, man. Like I think it's important to be able to talk about your healing stuff. Now, you were talking about like personal experiences that you've had that have helped you like shift your consciousness and stuff. Now, one thing that I mean, not to just like throw this at you, because you did put it up on YouTube yourself, and going back to like the discussion of like clearing the mind and psychedelics and stuff like that. You posted up a video of just like you eating mushrooms on like a sunny afternoon and going through the forest. I saw that video. Do you want to talk about that?
God, sure, brother. That video went. It's got like zillions of hits. It's unbelievable. I was like, I wish my healing videos got that many hits, but
I know, right?
it's just me. I mean, I believe in doing drugs for the intention that I feel that they were there for to begin with, which is to raise our awareness, raise our consciousness, to get us to break out of this matrix existence, and to know who we truly are, to connect to a higher power or a deeper part of ourselves, and to know the truth and to heal. So, you know, I used to do shrooms. So, I had some, and it was a beautiful day, and it was the end of the Mayan calendar, the beginning of a new cycle or whatever. So I decided to celebrate that day and went to a park and did some, and it was profound. Like, I felt really connected to Mother Earth in a way I've never felt connected to before. I literally felt, I just found this really nice spot out in nature, and I felt like I was downloading love or who knows what from source for like an hour or 2 hours, God knows how long. And it just felt like I'm in bliss, and I'm laughing my ass off, and I'm feeling as if it's raining down on me this beautiful loving energy over and over and over and over again. And I'm taking these deep breaths, and my third eye is doing some wonderful stuff, and I'm holding my body like I'm just hugging it and loving it, and it was powerful, man. It was a big healing.
For sure, man. For sure, yeah.
Yeah,
and that's like, again, I mean, for people in this circle, a lot of them are kind of familiar with experiences like that related to mushrooms. But I mean, obviously, when you get sort of like outside of this circle and into mainstream and stuff, you really don't hear that side of it. Just like the healing element of these, natural plants and stuff like that. Like, I mean, everything on the earth serves a purpose, and mushrooms, like psychedelics, like they're there. Like, I mean, there's parts of our brain that are there, like, with like receptors just like waiting for like those parts of the mushrooms to like interact with them. And again, obviously, just to sort of cover the bases, like we here at Paradigm Shift Radio aren't promoting the use of a legal substance, but we are promoting the conversation about experiences related to these natural substances in some way or another. And it'll be great to openly be able to have those conversations at some point. But I mean, like that's, definitely, just talk about it, research it, for people who are interested in it. And I don't know, anything else that you just want to share, maybe, I mean, I think it's better for you to say it, just than for me to say it. So, I mean, for people out there who might be interested in experiencing like a psychedelic experience for the first time, what would you suggest to them?
Well, I prefer mushrooms because they naturally grow, so I'm all for what was natural, because the creator of everything on our planet is, obviously, there's no mistakes, right? There's no mess ups there. It's just divine. So obviously that was there, and it's very powerful and it's natural. So if you're all for healing, if you're for exploration of yourself, you want to break through the boundaries that society, your parents and school and everyone around you is telling you that's all you are, this little box, and you're like, no, I think I'm a lot more than that. I feel mushrooms were a great way to expand that into your infinite self and know who you truly are. We're living 99% of our lives believing that we're this lie, that we're this little box. So why are we having such a problem for people to know who they truly are? That's our Jesus Christ said, know thyself. And if shrooms teach you who you are, then why is that a problem? Whatever resonates with you, if you find yourself through poetry, if you find yourself through, exploration of medicinal, or not medicinal drugs, but drugs that help you know yourself better and heal, ayahuasca, San Pedro, like, I'm all for that stuff.
Cool, man, for sure. And like, I mean, we could get pretty far into this topic. I mean, especially even just like you mentioned, like ayahuasca there, because it has come up a few times in the past. Have you had your own experience with ayahuasca then?
I haven't yet. I had an opportunity, but I did with San Pedro a bunch of times, and I really love it. Yeah,
the cactus. Cool. Okay. Well, all right. Just to keep things. I mean, literally, like we could just keep talking about that, but I just want to be able to get to some of the other stuff in the show. And just in terms of your healing services and stuff like that. What can you tell us about that? Like, is there something in particular that makes your method, so to speak, unique, or what attracts your clients to work with you, if you call them clients?
Okay. Yeah. I feel like I would like to share this. So power of intentions. Our intentions are so powerful. So if I didn't set specific intentions for this conversation we're having right now, this conversation could have ended up being a whole lot different. So you can step into a room. Let's say it's you're going into a room to connect with a bunch of friends, and you have no idea how it's going to play out. There's nothing outside of you that decides how that's going to play out. It's all about what you decide that experience is going to be. And even if it seems like, oh my God, this thing happened and now the whole experience is going, down, you decide, no, actually, I'm going to take back my power because I'm an infinitely powerful being. I'm going to decide that this is going to go the way I would like it to go. Not from ego, from surrendering and going with the flow, but also the power of setting intention. So a lot of that is incorporated into the healing sessions. I started off as a hypnotherapist, learning how to work with the subconscious mind. A lot of us are trying to make changes just using our conscious mind. That's almost futile because it's like, imagine one version of you on one side of a rope and then 9 versions of you on the other side of the rope. You can maybe miraculously get a few steps back pulling the 9, but eventually those 9 will always win. So that really taught me how to get deep into the subconscious, find out where all our patterns are, programs, beliefs, emotions, stuff from childhood. It's all there. And basically it kept evolving. I'm like, how can I make things better? How can I make things better? How can I take them to the next level? And now it's just infinity healing, where it's beyond the subconscious. You're working with their infinite self, and you're working with source energy. Source is a word that I use for where everything has stemmed from. It's the most powerful healing energy in the universe, most loving, most conscious. So when you invite that intelligence to be your partner during a healing session, there's no risks involved. There's no what if things go wrong. There's no one more competent than that being, that energy. So I become a facilitator. Earlier you said you have a problem with the word healer. I totally agree because one, we're all healers. 2, exactly. We can't heal another person. We can facilitate healing for them. So I facilitate healing for them. If they have money blockages, they're manifesting, hundreds or thousands of dollars. If they have relationship blockages, now they love themselves more. They've manifested soulmates. If they have, phobias, they're out of phobias. If they're not sure what they want to do with their lives, they have more clarity. Whatever we want is available for us. And the 2 magic things, and I read this in a powerful book, and it's the technique called Access Consciousness. The 2 magical things you want to say for anything you want to manifest in your reality are, number 1, let's say you want to manifest, let's say, a meaningful purpose, or what's that thing that you love doing? Like, you seem to have found the thing that you love. I seem to find the thing that I love. If you're out there and you're not sure what you love, so you literally connect to whatever you believe in. And the 2 things are, 1, what will it take for me to know what it is that I'm here to do? Or what will it take for me to manifest my soulmate? What will it take for me to manifest the money that I need in order to make this project happen? I'm thinking of you right now. So what will it take for me to manifest? And you say specifically how much money you want to manifest. 2, the universe always responds. There's not a single prayer that doesn't get answered. The only problem is when it comes our way, we might still be resisting it. We might be blocking it. It's not in our peripheral, we don't even see it. So the second thing we need to say is, please clear everything in the way of this happening right now. And the more you keep repeating that statement of, what will it take for me to manifest this, clear everything that's in the way of this, you keep repeating it. Every time you're saying it, you're clearing programs, belief systems, blocks, fears, and then next thing you know, it's right there in front of you, and you're like, wow, how did this happen so fast? Mm-hmm. So I'm throwing just tips here instead of just things that you can do on a daily basis to manifest your life the way you'd like it to be. And I'm all about how can we live life the way we want to live it instead of being trapped and disempowered, living it the way our parents wanted it, or society tells us, or school, or religion. Healing, it's me, source, and the client. Client tells me I have a problem with, right now it's a lot of spiritual women who are business owners, and they're doing great work, but they have blocks. They're not earning money. They had tough childhoods. They don't believe in themselves, and basically every time they do a session, blocks are released, and they feel better and more confident. They believe in themselves, and they believe anything's possible. So
that's good, man. Yeah, no, it sounds like you're legitimately like being very, very helpful for a lot of people. I'm sure they really appreciate running into you, but obviously it was no coincidence that they did. So cool, man.
Yeah, totally.
All right,
the reason I went on the tangent of intention is because in my intentions, I say, universe, only bring forth to me those that are perfect for me in every way, and I'm perfect for them. And almost every single person I connect with, I can instantly tell, I'm like, wow, this person prayed for me on some level, and here I am to play my part, and I prayed for them on some level, and it's just so perfect. But again, power of intentions.
Yeah. Like with what you were talking about, and I already sort of had this idea of like talking to you about this earlier, because I mean I always want to be able to like bring practical information to people who are listening, which is much of what you just said there. But if we were just like sort of play, if I'm like coming at you from a client, if I could use this opportunity to ask you, because I mean right now, as you probably heard at the beginning of the show, like I'm working on raising funds for my next film project, The Journey to Lucidity. Now, I mean, I don't let myself like get down over it and stuff like that, but of course like it would be great if there was more abundance in terms of like donations being received, you know, like I put my intentions out there, and sometimes, you know, it sort of like goes in like ups and downs kind of things, where it seems to be quiet, but then might get a couple of donations and it's quiet again. So in terms of a project such as that, you know, people might have similar things going on their end. What would be some simple suggestions or just insights that you could throw my way to help me manifest like the most abundance out of that?
Great question, and thanks for the invitation. And I just want to make sure, like, will we be doing the actual healing soon? Because that would definitely be a part of what you're asking about. And definitely repeating the statement, which is, what will it take for me to manifest, and say specific. So here's the thing with the universe. It's like you're at a restaurant, and you're telling the waiter that I want food. And the waiter comes back and gets you peanuts, and you're like, no, I need more food, and he gets you like, you know, some fruits, and you're like, okay, no, I want like a burger, and then, you know, I would like some meat, and then they get you horse meat, and then you say, no, I want cow meat, and then they bring you raw cow meat. So literally that's why we're having these problems with, you know, with what we're manifesting, but we're not being specific. So I think it's important to be as specific as we can. Like, the universe will give us whatever we want, and we just need to be very specific. I remember once I was at a park, and I had this baguette, a whole baguette, and I was feeding these pigeons. And all the pigeons were in that scarcity mentality where they were fighting for the bread, and they didn't know that I had a whole baguette. And I felt like the universe. I felt like, hey guys, I want to give you as much as you want, just don't worry. But they were so stuck in their limited way of seeing the world, and I totally at that moment knew how we are as people and how the universe is. The universe is like, I want to give you as much as you want, but trust that I have an unlimited supply. And anyways, that's just a cool story. But what will it take for me to manifest? And you say the number. Like, what's the number you'd like to manifest? Like, you say that specific number. Yeah. You know, with relationships, a lot of people are like, hey, God, please, can I have a relationship? And then you get, like, a psycho girl from house. So it's like, okay, we need to be a bit more specific. I would like to manifest someone who's perfect for me in every way, and I'm perfect for them in every way. And, you know, that is a different person you'll attract than just saying, I want a girlfriend. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's just a good reminder that the universe is like super specific, you know, like it's like, literally we sometimes we kind of overlook how specific it is, and then we sort of misplace like the responsibility for the fact that like what we're attracting is literally like what we're putting out there as well. So responsibility and specificity go hand in hand with this one. So like, you know, I've always thought about it this way, like that the universe literally is like, it's like an operating program, and you can code it, like you can program it with your mind. So you got to be very mindful of the fact that you are programming it with every single thought that you put out there. So okay. Did you have some more to say on top of that?
I just wanted to, you said it, like we need to own the fact that if we need to own, I'm a big believer if it's happening in your reality, it's got everything to do with what you hold to be true within your being. So everything on the outside is a reflection of what's going on inside. We shouldn't get mad and shoot the messenger. We shouldn't get mad at our external reality. It's all just feedback. So we take that feedback and we go, okay, I'm attracting someone that's not treating me well. Where inside of my being do I not feel deserving to be treated well? So we don't get mad at the ex or the relationship or whoever. It's all about, okay, wow, that's maybe I'm holding that to be true in myself. So we use that as feedback to know what's going on inside, and we always have to own the fact that there's something about us that's making this happen. So with you, when you said not as much money as I know I'm capable of earning, what inside of me is limiting me or blocking me or stopping me? And all of us, a lot of us have money blocks. It just brings up a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of programs from our parents, from ancestors, from self-worth, deserving. We have judgments towards money. We don't want to be greedy. Money's bad, all sorts of stuff. So that's a good one to definitely explore and shift and heal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So should we get,
So yeah, you said you want to get to like the healing. What do you have in mind?
So I have a whole bunch of topics, and it's basically inspired by, your the radio show is called Paradigm Shift Radio, and it's all about, it's 2013, world did not end, a new world has begun, it's a blank slate, it's a blank canvas, and no one's going to paint that canvas for you, no one. It's there for you. What are you going to do about that? What are you going to paint on your canvas? So, but there's just a few things that we can actually shift in the next few minutes. You just let me know how long we have. And basically to be able to know how to work with the universe. The universe is bending backwards for everything that we desire, but we're not seeing it from its perspective. We're like those pigeons. We're still freaking out. We're still thinking scarcity. We're not getting it. But if we do get it, we're masters of the universe. It's a whole different ballgame. It's a much more fun experience when we're coming from that level of understanding. And we just have to unlearn a lot of stuff. We have to get rid of a lot of stuff that was handed down to us from our parents unconsciously in our DNA. There's a whole bunch of ways of the whole, speaking of Babylon, getting into that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things that are set up. It's like the game of snakes and ladders. Like you go up a few steps and the snakes bring you back down and you get back up and down. It's like there's all these traps there set up for whichever level you're at. And it's like it really takes a certain person to be able to pass through those traps because they're on every level we're being suppressed. So this healing that I have prepared for us is all about how to understand what's happening. So basically, if we have a big breakup and we lost our job, when I lost my job, I had the best job 7 years ago at working with children, which I loved, and it was a daycare. And I knew that some force got me that job, and some force got me to leave that job because they told me, I'm sorry, Tarek, one day, they brought me into the office and said, we're going to have to let you go. I was feeling so excited because I knew whatever intelligence brought me that job now has something bigger and better waiting for me. Imagine we all react to life that way. When I have a breakup, I'm like, what can I learn from this experience? Wow, I can learn to love myself more, blah, blah, blah. So there's a different way that we can be because it's a new paradigm. It's a new way of looking at things. It's a new way of being. So these healings are all about getting us to see things from the highest perspective and not from that limited perspective so that we can understand. We don't need to understand why things are happening. We need to
understand.
Yes, we need to understand why they're happening. And we need to trust that it's happening for us, not to us. So we're shifting from victim to a conscious co-creator.
Co-creator, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, man. Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, a lot of what you said. I mean, for all the conversations that I've had, it's always cool because you hear a little bit here, you hear a little bit there. But I mean, what we're doing right now, and what we encourage other people to do is just make this information more coherent so that we can continue to pass it on to more people. You know, some people might be listening to this and be like, yeah, I already know this. Like, I already know how manifesting works and stuff like that. But I mean, you haven't heard it spoken quite from the words of our friend here tonight, Tarek, you know. So listening to what he said, listening to how he said it, and then even, you know, not quote unquote, don't copy him or whatever, but literally take how he said it and use it as a way to help you understand it better so that you can share it with more people. Because I mean, the purpose of what we're doing here with Paradigm Shift Radio is not to just like sit around in you know, in our own circle all day and just you know, mental masturbation all day long or whatever, right? That like we need to actually like put it into practical use and to share the message even further with more people, you know, outside of this immediate community, and then evidently bring them back into it. So cool, man. All right, now so we do have a meditation that we do with every show. Now, is this like what you're thinking when you said you sort of like got some ideas in terms of deprogramming, or do you want to sort of use that as our meditation?
I'd love that. I'd be honored. I mean, I would love. I mean, I just spoke about infinity healing, but you won't know what it is till we implement it. So if you let me know how much time we have, I could definitely make sure that I stay in those in that time frame and basically share with you and the listeners ways, just energy healing to let go of the stuff that's stopping us from being our best selves and living life to the fullest.
Okay. Yeah, we do have. I mean, we're not in a rush, so we'll do that. We'll set that up from there. So I think in this situation, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think are you good to just sort of like do this verbally for a good 5, 6, 7 minutes? Like, I don't think we need any background audio for this one.
No, we don't. It's just words and people just getting in the zone, getting within inside their beings. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So we'll keep it nice and simple. So Tarek, I'll mute my mic in a second, and then we'll just do that. So everybody who's listening to the show, and those of you who might be new, we usually do this. We usually do a meditation, and sometimes, majority of the time, we'll do that. We'll sort of set it up, then we'll play like an audio track for about 5 minutes, and then come back from it. In this case. Well, I'm just saying, in this case, with Tarek, we won't be doing that. Tarek will be verbally guiding us through this healing process. So it'll be a little bit different, but just, it's always, there's so many different ways to meditate, and that's the exciting part about it. We'll never run out of ways. So if everybody just wants to get comfortable now, and so Tarek, it's all you from here, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Okay, guys, so just close your eyes, take a deep belly breath, get in the zone, get comfortable, get cozy, get relaxed. And just imagine there's an energy above your head, and just allow this energy to connect to your being. So all you need to do is be receptive. Make sure your arms are open and receptive, legs are not crossed, they're uncrossed. You're open and receptive. And just allow this energy to connect to your being right now. And we're going to do a few processes. It knows what to do. This is source energy, very intelligent, very powerful, knows you better than you know yourself. It knows what to do. So, source energy, allow us to fully see all the synchronicities that are out there and to fully understand what those synchronicities mean to us. So that when we see those signs, number one, we see them because they're all around. 2, we interpret them exactly the way that we need to, so we get what is trying to be communicated. 3, we follow through on what it's guiding us to do. Next thing, power. Let's fully download into our being what true power really means. So whatever we're downloading, it's also automatically clearing out what's in the way of us fully understanding what these things are. So let's fully understand from the highest perspective what power means. Let's fully understand from the highest perspective what God means, the universe means, source means, who we truly are, the truth of who we are, not the lies we've been conditioned to believe, but the truth of who we truly are. Just breathe that in. Downloading into our being the truth of what money is, what a job is, what relationships are, from the highest perspective, what love is. Okay. Let's download into our being fully knowing, embodying the new paradigm, understanding the new ways of being in this world. To fully embody that, you are now being this new the upgraded version of our potential right now. You're walking around embodying that. We're literally downloading this straight from source. Okay, and anything in the way of that is being transmuted as we speak. So fully trusting. Trusting is huge for the new paradigm, because it's like you take that step and then a rock appears. I don't know, in one of those movies I watched when I was a kid, it's like you don't see the step and jump. It's like you jump and then suddenly there's a step that appears. So that's fully trusting. So anything in the way of us fully trusting the universe, knowing that it has our back and it's bending over backwards for everything that we desire, trusting that there's a method to the madness, and letting go of everything that's stopping us from trusting. There might have been an experience in the past or whatever, getting rid of that. Judgments create a prison. When we judge money, rich people, successful people, people who are doing what they love, we now are forced to stay stuck in a world where we can't have that. So we're asking for us to transmute as many judgments as we can, so we're free from those, so we can do the things that we want to do. Fear, there's a fear that is, we misinterpret fear. So let's download into our being what fear truly means and how we can truly use that to drive us forward, and how we can release the maximum fear that we're holding on to that's not for our highest good. Just take a deep breath, asking our vibrations to go higher and higher and higher. Okay. Downloading, so our being is infinite potential. So as many activations, inner activations, as we're ready to do right now, let our higher self activate parts of our brain we haven't activated, parts of our DNA that are ready to be activated. Your higher self knows what you're ready for. Let it activate your being, activate your light body, activate your like a sacred geometry around our energy field, activate, there's all sorts of things we can imprint and integrate into our energy field. Let our higher self download everything that is perfect for our being. Okay. The mind, I like to think of the mind as a dog. If you have a dog in the house and your friends are knocking on the door, the dog's going to bark as if someone's trying to, come in the house and steal stuff or hurt you. So it barks. The mind is like that, or people call it the ego is like that. It tries to protect us from things, but there's so many times it protects us from things that are actually for our highest good. What if that was our soulmate knocking on the door? What if that is someone who wants to, create a project with us? So let's download into our being to fully understand what our mind's highest purpose is. So activating its highest purpose, how it's there to serve us, not to keep us stuck where we are. And to fully, and a lot of people are like, oh my God, I feel scared, so I'm not going to take that action. So we're allowing ourselves now to shift that, so that whenever we feel that, whoa, I'm outside of my comfort zone, not to feel like I need to go back, but to fully understand that going outside of our comfort zone is growth, it is evolving. And there's so many experiences where it's like, we feel that feeling of, it feels like fear, we stop ourselves, but what if every single time we actually said yes to that and took action when we felt that fear, like, oh, something's telling me to talk to this girl, something's telling me to talk to this person. And almost every single time we get into our heads and we're like, no, this person doesn't want to hear what I have to say, or what are the odds they're going to say yes to me, or all those things. Imagine every single time we took action, and imagine how far we would have come. Imagine all these connections we would have made. So really, this healing right now that we're experiencing is all about understanding that, clearing what's stopping us. And every single time those experiences come, we're going to feel such a powerful drive. It's going to be like you can't help but feel something's telling you do this. It won't shut up. It'll keep getting louder, and you'll clear everything that it's in the way of you taking that inspired action. And you're going to feel like a zillion angels are behind you, or maybe positive aliens are behind you. I don't know why I said that, and they're pushing you forward to do that. So you're feeling you have infinite power moving you forward to take those actions. And if every single one of us did that, imagine what we will create together. Okay, what else do I have here? Okay, I can't even read that. Purpose, joy. So let's fully understand what our purpose is here, and our purpose is to experience our ultimate joy, to be our best self. If you can be your true, authentic self to the fullest, what you decide to do after being your true authentic self to the fullest might be some kind of job or career. But first it starts with, this is who I am and I'm expressing my authentic self to the fullest. And then based on my authentic self, now I want to do music, now I want to do healing, now I want to do radio shows, now I want to do these projects, movies, documentaries. But it starts from knowing who you truly are. So let's download knowing ourselves fully, and then knowing what our purpose is, and allowing ourselves to experience infinite joy. That's our ultimate goal. Okay. Okay, so we're putting it out there to the universe. What will it take for us to attract all the things that are for our highest good? What will it take for us to raise our vibration so high right now and continuously raising our vibration that we become a magnet for all the things that are for our highest good? This project comes our way. This money comes to support us. This friend comes. Everything comes our way to support us, to create the team that we need, the environment, the friendship, all the support we need to move forward in our passion and purpose. Okay, ease and miracles are very new paradigm, very 2013. Life of ease. So clear everything in our being that says life needs to be hard and struggle, and replace it with life is easy and we can go with the flow, we can trust, and that we're fully surrounded by miracles. Everything's a miracle. We're expecting miracles. We are miracles. We see the miracles around us. Okay. Anywhere where we're resisting, to transmute that resistance and let our higher self always remind us to surrender to that divine flow, to go with that divine flow. Wonderful. So just take a deep belly breath. Just imagine there's a cloud above you and it's raining down golden raindrops, and each raindrop creates this divine ripple throughout your whole being, just spreading those ripples of divine love, transmuting any heaviness, any dense energies. And I'm feeling stuff on the left shoulder area, so just anyone who feels tightness there. Okay, it's gone now. Just let the golden rain just transmute all the heaviness, denseness, and raise our vibration higher and higher and higher, activating parts of our being that are ready to activate, aligning our being with our highest self, chakras, third eye, intuition. Beautiful. So what will it take for us to live the best lives possible? What will it take for us to be the best selves that we can be? Anything in the way of that, we're asking for that to be cleared, healed, transmuted right now. If you like that, just say a big yes out loud. Yes, and take a deep breath. And so it is.
And so it is. Cool, thanks, dude. I like the golden rain visualization. Yeah. Cool. I'm just gonna picture that throughout the day.
Good for you, brother. Good for you.
Yeah, I could even just use that as a meditative thing to focus on, and just be bring that back into my mind and stuff and connect with that. Cool, man. Yeah. That was different. I can't really say I've actually sort of had that type of whatever you want to call that. What do you call that?
It's a healing, it's a downloading, it's a releasing. So I call it healing. We're healing ourselves, we're shifting. Yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah, a lot of healthy reminders in there. So yeah, for those of you in the live chat, how did you guys like that? Just leave a couple comments there in the live chat, and I'll just reiterate some of those on air as well. So cool, man.
That's infinity healing. Everyone got to experience a sample of infinity healing. Obviously, if you want something more specific, then let's connect and really fine tune that specifically for you. But just wanted to say that everyone that I'm connected with, whether they're a Facebook friend, if they go to my website and subscribe anywhere, or my YouTube channel and they subscribe, anyone who's connected to me through those channels, really they're in my heart, they're in my prayers, they're in my intentions. And every morning when I wake up, I do set powerful intentions for everyone that's in my circle, that they all continuously live their best lives. So I highly recommend, if you feel you're resonating with me, with my energy, with what I'm saying, please connect. I want nothing more than to serve the people in my community and use my gifts and talents to better their lives.
Very noble of you, dude. So for people
Thank
who
you.
want for people who want to connect with Tarek, I mean, in addition to all the websites that we have mentioned, go to his Facebook. So facebook.com/Mr. Miraculous. So as it sounds, and connect with him through there. Shoot him a message, and I'm sure he'll get back to you. And I guess for people who are interested, you sort of like offer individual sessions and stuff.
I do. So I mean, the best website would be tarekbibi.com for the healing stuff, because there you can connect with my Facebook. You can get subscribed. I'll keep sending you stuff. For the music, let's just say one more time, if people resonated with the music, it's lsdivinity.bandcamp.com. And
Cool.
And then on the website, you can actually request a free 15-minute energy scan where I literally, like, remember at one point I said I felt stuff on someone's left shoulder. So I'm so empathic that I'll feel other people's stuff in my own body. In the free 15-minute scan, I'll basically spend the time just scanning your energy field and figure out where you are blocked energetically, and just so that you can know where to focus the energy on to heal it.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I think in this situation, we're gonna keep things moving forward. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And is there anything else that you just want to mention?
I just wish, first of all, thank you so much for doing this, for having me on the show. Thank you for all the listeners, for everything that you do. Please, 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 let's live this life to the fullest. Let's be our best selves. Let's do what we're here to do. Things are changing, and they're going to keep changing faster and faster. So let's not resist that. Let's actually go with the flow, because everything's happening exactly the way it should. So let's trust it, and let's do it big. We win or die trying. There's no turning back. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it big. And I was just saying, because it came into my mind while we were sort of doing that, just going back to a conversation about being specific, and even going back to like what I was talking about for my funding campaign, in terms of like being specific for this show. Let me just break it down for you. This is the intention, and give me some feedback on this. This is the intention that I'm putting out for this show. So on average, Paradigm Shift Radio has close to around 300 live listeners each episode, which is wonderful. And that's huge shout out to everybody who does all the getting the word out there and stuff like that. So in terms of that, there's about 300 people who listen live. Then there's about 1,500, give or take, who listen to this afterwards, in the digital format. So out of that, I'm putting the intention to have 10 people donate $11, and $11 for the Journey to Lucidity Fund will give you early access to the film, and that's something, $11 is what you would pay if you're going to go see a movie or something like that. So if you want to be able to support me in the project, obviously a big namaste goes out to you, and GoFundMe.com/Journey to Lucidity. So I'm waiting to see that. So literally 10 donations from 10 people, so for $11 each. Or surprise me, make it big, do it big.
So that's great, man. And let's just do something really quick. So anything in the way of that, we're asking for that to be cleared, healed, deleted right now. What will it take for you to manifest exactly what you said, this or something greater, with ease and grace right now? And anything in the way of that, please clear it, heal it, delete it right now. And just take a deep belly breath, because I think there's something going on in the belly that might be a little blocked, but we'll talk about that another time.
All right, man. Sounds good. Good. So, cool, Tarek. It was an absolute pleasure having you on. Now, before since we got a bit of a segue here, guys, I mentioned to you earlier that we were going to bring Nathaniel Solis on, and Nathaniel, he's also a facilitator for self-empowerment as well, and I'd like to just give Nathaniel just a couple seconds for you guys just to talk to each other, because I think Nathaniel actually resonated with what you were talking about. So, Nathaniel, if you're ready, we're going to do that. We're just going to bring you on the air, and I just like to give you and Tarek a chance to say hello to each other. So, Nathaniel, if you're ready, we're going to bring you onto the air. So, again, this is Nathaniel Solis, so AKA Mahanomi, youtube.com/Mahanomi. So, all right, here we go. Hey, Nathaniel. Hey, welcome once again. Cool. So, yeah, Nathaniel, you heard what I said. Do you have anything that you just want to say hello to Tarek while we're here?
Dude, Tarek is awesome.
Oh, man.
I really appreciate getting to hear what I did so far, brother. I really want to commend you for your to the codes that you're carrying and the way you're choosing to share them, your conscious language embodiment. Like you're dialed in, bro. I really see you, and I'm glad I feel into it. I got to hear you talk the last few minutes, and you're dialed in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. I'm getting teary-eyed. I really appreciate what you said. Thank you, man. Yeah.
Really, that's what you get. I hope that keeps coming, man. You seriously. It doesn't take a lot once you only have to study so much when you realize it comes down to quite a level of simplicity, and I can feel that from you, and I see your clarity and your ability to really they're just codes. It's all frequencies and information, and you've embodied it to a point where I can hear through the words that you choose, and that your approach psychologically and emotionally is pretty on point. So.
Thank you.
Keep it going. I'll check out your website too. I'll keep looking into your stuff, man. I'm sure we'll stay in touch.
Thank you, brother. Anything I can do to support you and your vision, I'm there for you guys. You guys rock. I really appreciate what you do. Thank you so much.
Cool. And Nathaniel, I think you got some news for us, don't you? And I'm sure Tarek would be quite interested in what you have to share as well. So if you want to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you. First of all, thanks, Skull, for having me on, and I'll preface, I'm actually sitting here with my dearest brother, my business partner, my Earth activator here, Amateo Ra. If any of you guys know, go on.
He can say hello.
YouTube.com/Amateo Ra, and he can say hi too.
Yeah.
Hey everyone on the Paradigm Shift Radio. This is Amateo Ra, and it was just a real pleasure to go through that activation with all of you. This is a really powerful and potent time for self-realization and actualization, and it's an ultimate pleasure to be sharing the energy and the vibrations as we continue to make this paradigm shift.
For sure. Wow, this is. I feel like this moment right here, just with us four, is a nice kind of I don't want to say highlight to make it sound like it's super important or anything like that, but I mean this is a pretty cool moment, to be honest. Just four cool dudes such as ourselves sort of interacting at this level. But I mean, this is just the beginning.
It's the most
what I'm saying.
Important moment ever. This moment is the most super important ever.
That's great. Yeah, there's a good quote that I put up on my wall earlier this afternoon. It says, "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift." And that's why they call it the present. And that's actually from the movie Kung Fu Panda, which was a wonderful movie that I just happened to be on TV this afternoon, and I think I needed to see that movie again. Yeah, cool. All right, so Nathaniel, though, okay, in terms of the news that you have for the people, what do we got?
The news. Wow. Simply put, me and Amateo are launching a company called Creator Course. And wow, I'm a little nervous. This is my first official big old branded global huge thing. Yeah, I'm looking at a flyer right now that Amateo's putting together. It's just super exciting. So let me preface with a little bit. Anyone who's listening to this right now, I know for a fact, knows YouTube exists and knows that there's so much information on there. And really there's actually enough information, enough free information for people to be able to really learn a lot about how this world works and how humans work and different approaches that people are using to interact in the world and be powerful and be healthy and be happy and all these beautiful things. But you also start to notice, because I've been in this world for almost 8 years now, just actively being on the internet, absorbing as much information as possible, connecting with as many people and studying as much as possible. And it's very interesting to notice that there's a disconnect between all the information that's available and the actual application, the actual implementation, people actually changing their lives. I know lots and lots of people who could give you a whole dissertation on nutrition, but they don't actually eat those foods, or give you a whole dissertation on certain meditation practices or energy practices, and they don't even actually do them. So, when I first started feeling into that, I realized what's wrong with this? Not wrong, but what's this missing point between the information we're getting, but us not applying it? And I realized it has a lot to do with the way that education is actually given to the user. Right? If it was given in a different layout, then they might actually, start to incorporate these values and this information actually into their day-to-day life. Just a few months ago, I was talking with my brother Amateo here, and we basically realized that we had encountered the same thing. We've both been on the internet studying all this conscious stuff for years and years and years, and noticing the same patterns. Noticing that, one, that every solution necessary for this planet to transform back to paradise is real. It exists somewhere, whether it's a health solution or a psychology solution or a design solution. They're all existing. And bit by bit, there might be some little town where people are practicing something here, something over there, and it's a matter of getting all of that information in one place and then sharing it, distributing it, and crafting the content in a way that it's shared in a way that's actually absorbable and that people can actually implement into their life. So that is why Amateo and I started the Creator Course. And here's the simplest way to explain it. The Creator Course is a company that about every month or so we're going to be putting out different programs to people about all sorts of things, primarily based in lifestyle education. So learning about how your body works, how your mind works, how relationships work, cool tips and tricks to add into your day-to-day routine, into your community, all these different beautiful things like that. And we actually, as a brand, we scout out some of the best teachers and facilitators, the right topics, and we actually have to collaborate on a project together. So imagine, signing up for a 2-week program that's just all about fitness with 20 of the best fitness educators on the internet that are getting, most importantly, getting the results that you want. That's something I share with people. If you're going to, pick someone to be your guru or to be your, someone to inspire you or someone to be your teacher, they need to be getting the results that you want. What's the point in taking weight loss tips from someone who's obese, right? So it's basically a Creator Course. The big news is that we are launching in a week. We're doing our very first event. It's called The Invitation. It's absolutely free, and it's basically just an opportunity for all of us to connect. For me and Amateo to share some videos and blogs about our own personal story and why we made the Creator Course, and also for some of our teachers and our facilitators to share a bit about who they are as well. And basically just get everybody, super stoked and interested in what we're doing. And that's the big news. We'd love everybody to be a part of this. Just a few months from now, this will be a global education brand that's going to be literally taking all this beautiful stuff that we're all sharing, but making it actual assignment-based, applicable, action-oriented education that people can get real results from.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, like that's always been a big focus of mine is just sort of reapproaching the way our education system works, because I mean, even in just compare like sort of the way you're talking about it's like here, like learn this so that you can be rewarded with self-betterment and self-empowerment, opposed to like where it is in like the traditional education system where it's like learn this because we're telling you to do so, and if you don't, then you're punished for it. Like there's no like actual passion involved in that process. It's just like jumping through a hoop. Where in this one, it's just like it's like a psychological workout, and the more you do it, the more like refreshing and the more vitalized and the more empowered you get to do more of it. And I think what we're doing here, we're setting up this whole idea of lead by the way you live, and I think that's the way how the world's going to change. We're not just going to be able to like change everyone overnight, but by changing ourselves and then like doing it so with vibrancy and courage, so that other people see that, and there's like, hey, like why am I holding back? Like I want to be what that guy is being, but my own version of it, sort of thing, right? So by doing that, by leading by the way we live, it helps empower others, just one day at a time kind of thing. So yeah, like Nathaniel, your mic Your phone was a little bit choppy there, I think, for some of the people listening, but just to reiterate what you were saying there. So again, for everyone, check out facebook.com/creatorcourse, and there's going to be another preview of it next Saturday, which is March 16th, and Nathaniel's going to be hosting that, and there's going to be a whole bunch of other people involved in that, including Amateo, and I'll probably drop by although I think I'm doing my superhero business that day. I'm a little busy, but I'll definitely be promoting it, and you guys will hear about it some more. And again, www.creatorcourse.com. So this is like us as a community creating like a new way for us to educate ourselves, so that we can like help educate the generations to come. You know, like how do we create a better world, not just for us today, but for like our children tomorrow. You know, I always want to think like there's an interesting thing that came up in one of our meetings one time, and it's basically this idea that like how the natives, they always had a way of thinking about any decision that they made. They always thought like 7 generations behind and 7 generations ahead. Like imagine bringing that into like the way how you sort of like perceive things. So yeah, just something interesting. But yeah, go ahead, Nathaniel. I think you got something to say.
This is actually Amateo. I just wanted to jump on here for a second and just really affirm what you're saying, because it's so important that we start to take a more holistic approach to our lives, so that we can really become the masters, you know, so that we can really take all that energy to all of the people who we were inspired by and bring it back into ourselves and really step into ourselves. And, you know, for all of those people out there, we do track that there's this phenomenon going on from consumerism to creativity, from being a consumer in a world of just receiving all of these things and being sold to really creating, to really stepping up into your imagination, your ability to use your energy to make an impact in the world. And so I just wanted to speak that into the field of things. Now, you know, together, stay accountable and really make some incredible change happen through our creativity, through what makes us most happy and most in love. So thank you so much for your support of the Creator Course, and we'll be happy to help promote Paradigm Shift Radio too as we put together. Totally.
It goes full toroidal field. And Tarek, just based on that, what do you just sort of have to say on this whole community collaborative effort that we're doing here to change the world that you're a part of? You know, all of us are part of this. So.
Yeah, I feel so inspired just hearing you guys talk about things like this, and I know that we can't do this on our own, and everything now is about let's get together and make it happen. Everyone's doing their thing on their own, and we're still kind of, that's old paradigm. New paradigm is like we're all in this shit together. Let's all get together and pool our resources, pool our efforts, support one another, and sky's the limit in terms of what we decide to do. Because if each one of us is playing their part, and each one of us has exactly what we need to fulfill our greatest purpose. You know, think one Jesus changed the world, one Nikola Tesla changed the world, and now there's like a zillion of those types of people with what they need, and imagine all of us like a big army doing the things we want, supporting each other, self-sustaining. Sky's the limit, man.
Totally. One thing, just when you mentioned that, like, you know, like the Tesla and so forth, like, it's always interesting. I've sort of always had this idea that, like, you know, once a person goes through like an incarnation, then the people following them actually have like a fragment of that person in them. So like each of us has like a bit of Einstein and a bit of Tesla and, you know, a bit of these other miraculous people who came before us within us. You know, so it just sort of helps again. You know, if they did it, why can't we? And who knows what we could do? Like, there's so much potential.
I got a good little piggyback off that one, if you don't mind.
Do it.
You know, one of the very same things I found out. You know, like I was saying, we want to learn from people who are getting the results you want. So, right, if you want to be a genius, you know, Einstein is a great guy to study. If you want to be full of compassion, the Dalai Lama. If you want to be the greatest boxer, Muhammad Ali. If you want to be, you know what I mean? Like, so there's all these people who have mastered these different things. But guess what? People forget all the time that we're designed, humans are naturally, intrinsically designed to do all of those. To be the smartest, the fittest, the fastest, the most loving, the most innovative, the most humorous. We're supposed to be musicians and makers and dancers and everything.
Yeah, really. All of it.
No way saying, everyone can be a good singer if they're trained. Everyone can be a good artist if they're trained. Everyone can be the greatest anything. So, the Creator Course, all the curriculum is designed around that holistic approach where we're not going to leave anything out. We're not going to let anybody, let themselves be less than they are. Because that's what we all want. That's why we have people pay for trainers or coaches, because they push you that one breath farther than you would have pushed yourself. The base of the very fundamentals of all of our curriculum is we're going to teach you how to push yourself to that one next breath. You really become a teacher, and it's based on some very simple will mechanics. I know you saw that live chat I did called The Medicine of Will, and it's a lot of that kind of stuff, teaching people different little psychological techniques and things to just do with your body that are empirically so to just completely change your state of being, and by changing your state of being, you can become anything.
Yeah, like I always sort of think about a lot of the psychological process as in the same way that I do like the physical workout side of things, like just in terms of like pushing ourselves further. Like there's that quote that we've heard before. It's this idea that we're actually like more afraid of our potential than anything, and that's something that so many of us like haven't really tapped into, right? But it's something that if like experience that. I mean, don't just think about it. Experience, like, what is your potential, right? And those are those moments where you don't realize your potential until you might need the help of someone else, because you'll be running. Think about this as a metaphor. You'll be running, and you'll get to the point where you'll be like, oh, I can't run anymore, man. Like, I'm done. And, like, that voice that's telling you that, like, that's your ego. Sort of just saying, like, give up, sort of thing, right? But then there's another person saying, like, no, you can keep going. Like, don't stop. It's okay. You can keep going. Go ahead. Like, it's not going to kill you, right? And then when you do, you realize that you get, like, this whole nother plateau that you reach of like, just, like, new energy that might be, like, entirely new to you. And that new energy can be thought of in terms of, like, creativity and artistic potential. And whoever's typing, ease up on that. I don't know who was doing that right there, but that was going through. But yeah, that was just something I want to add. And just another thing, just in terms of, this came up in our Paradigm Shift meeting the other day. Someone was like, like, what's the point? Like, what is the point of all this? And, I think one thing that he said, he said to find the potential for goodness, to find the potential for our goodness. And one of the ways that we can do that is by working with it, by playing with it, and by loving it. And by it, I mean everything, the life, the experience, the moments that we have first thing in the morning till the moments we, all 24/7 hours, including your dreams. Work with it, play with it, love with it, and learn from it, I think would be the fourth on top of that. So, but yeah, main three would make a good trinity. So, but anyways, guys, I think, this has been great. And thank you guys as well, Tarek, Amateo, and Nathaniel, and to all the listeners who are a part of this as well. You guys are an important part, and we encourage you to get involved with the conversation afterwards. We'll be doing a live chat, and I'll talk about that later on. But, I'd like to be able to just sort of put, a bookmark, end of a chapter on this conversation as we sort of like save it and come back to it again in the future, because there's we literally could just keep talking about this, but we got to sort of stretch it out a bit and save some for another episode. But again, so I'll just any last words that you guys just want to share before we move on to our next theme. So Nathaniel, Amateo.
Yeah, I just want to say, thank you so much for letting us come on here and share. If anyone found any of that interesting at all, go to creatorcourse.com, and there's a little sign up there. You give us your email. We're not going to spam you. We're only going to share with you, just everything that's happening in the world of global education, community building, personal development, personal health, and we really, really hope to see you guys come hang out with us and be a part of the conversation. All the games we get to play. And know that everything in the world is okay. And I think that's something we can take in. So if everybody just wants to take a deep breath right now of just everything being okay and good in the world, let's just do that. Coming into the full knowing that we have all taken the right action together to produce everything that needs to be done for all of us. So we love you, and thank you so much for being who you are.
Mm-hmm. And Tarek, anything you want to add?
Same thing, man. Thank you so much for having me. I mean, every single listener that's choosing to use their time productively to be a part of this. It's like a vote. Everything we do with our energy is like a vote, and we're either voting with our energy for something that is going to plant seeds of things that are going to be good for everyone, or we can use our energy, our time, and our thoughts to plant seeds that are destructive. So by everyone being here on the call and letting these ideas and energies be in their consciousness, we're basically voting love. We're voting potential and a different world. So every single one of us plays a part, and we're voting right now for a different world just by letting these thoughts kind of circulate in our consciousness. So thank you to all the listeners as well.
Nice. Yeah, and I'll just add one thing just to end this conversation, this spiral of it. You know, people often say this idea of and kind of reflecting on what Amateo said and understanding that, you know, everything's there, something for us to learn from, and people might say, like, you're perfect. Like, you know, you're perfect. You are. And I think some people can get confused by that, because the way I would just slightly rephrase it is this idea of understanding that, like, yes, you are perfect, but you are not at your potential. Rather, you are at the perfect time and place to strive for something more, meaning that everything that you need is within arm's reach. And as you become better, you become more capable of serving others. And that's what the whole circle thing is about. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys, and I hope that's inspirational, just as a reminder for you guys. And that's what Paradigm Shift Radio is all about. It's all about collective inspiration, education, and entertainment, and fun and enjoyment, and awesome people coming together here live on a Saturday. I think did we do the whole daylight savings time? Are we still on a Saturday technically? Anybody know? Tarek?
I'm not sure, man.
I don't know when it actually changes. But anyways, okay, guys. So again, creatorcourse.com, facebook.com/creatorcourse, and tarekbb.com, lsdivinity.bandcamp.com, and Tarek's YouTube, or go to his Facebook at facebook.com/Mr. Miraculous, and his YouTube as well, which is youtube.com/esoteric. So ESOTAREK. And yeah, check all that stuff out. So very cool stuff. So again, guys, thank you so much for being here, and we will be in touch. And again, stay tuned for more information about Creator Course. So the future just around the corner. Get pumped. All right, guys. Thanks again. Say farewell for now.
Bye, everyone. Peace. Thank you.
Cheers. All right. Talk to you guys later. Cheers. Awesome. All right, guys. So yeah, like I said, it's been pretty solid so far this episode, and within the last 20 minutes, I got something else of a particular interest to bring onto the show, and that was what I was mentioning earlier, and that's our friend from Paradigm Shift Estonia, Risto, who I've talked to before in one of our hangouts, and just in terms of the after party, we will be doing an after party after the show, and yeah, I guess I'll set that up. My bandwidth limit is already over this month anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but stay tuned for that. The links will be posted at facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Radio, and within the live chat if you are in the live chat. And again, the after party is just a chance for people to get involved. Even if you don't actually have a webcam, you can still get involved with your voice just through the Google Hangout. So make sure that you have a Gmail account to be able to interact with that, or you can simply watch it on YouTube. And again, yeah, we'll just continue the conversation from there. So with that said, yeah, check out all the websites, and yeah, you guys know what's up at this point. So we're going to bring on Tarek, or I'm off. We already brought on Tarek. So we're gonna bring on Risto, and he's got something interesting that he's gonna talk about. I'm not even fully sure of what the full story is, so we'll let him explain in his own words. So Risto, if you're ready, we're gonna bring you onto Paradigm Shift Radio. Here we go. Hello, good sir. Right. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, man. Perfect.
Cool.
I love when people have good microphones.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's good. People live in a country where Skype was invented as well.
Very true.
So thanks for the introduction, by the way, and all the things that I'm gonna say and do, I have no idea, but let's just see what's gonna come.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we got about 20 minutes left in the show here. We've already done our meditation. You know, vibes are sort of at a nice like calm and a coherent level right now. So I think let's jump into this as much as we want, keeping in mind that we only got literally 18 minutes left in the show. So
no worries.
I'll just sort of set this up. A couple days ago, you came to me with a nice long message on Facebook, and you're sort of talking about like some self-realizations that you've had in terms of like there's like a part of yourself that is here in the physical, but then there's like a part of yourself that has been quite busy in the other dimensional planes, so to speak. So tell us a little bit more about that and what you have to share with us.
Yeah, it comes with a little story as well that it won't take more than like 2 minutes, and it also and what you basically said is all the really short summary of it, and it's more like switching in between the conscious realities that my entire higher self has fragmented its consciousness, so I can consciously shift between what I can experience. The entire story began like 2 or 3 years ago when I started having huge health problems. I had so much heart problems that I could not even breathe. My heart rate was 20 beats per minute, and I was constantly in the emergency room, and I was almost dead. And at some point, I think I did die, I hope. And what I learned from it, what I gained from it a couple of years later, I found that it was a spontaneous spiritual Kundalini awakening, and this is all a huge part of my higher consciousness trying to boost me up, giving me the fastest ride possible to be a cosmic communicator ASAP. Now that I found out last year, and now this what I'm doing is my biggest job I can possibly do on planet Earth.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more. What is
no worries. So I have put in contact before I was already born. All of this was decided, so there's not much that I could do. I didn't even have the chance to like object or say that this is real or is not. So they just dropped the bomb on me like last year. And this is how it is. You better get okay with it because soon we're gonna utilize you. You're gonna do this and you're gonna do that. And I was just pure pragmatic. I was going from one day to the other day saying that this cannot be real. I had all these people around me saying that how the fuck is that real? And the entire thing communicated up to me with a lot of high-level conscious beings, mainly our own ascended masters living in our own inner realms that is being merged with our outer realms of planet Earth, Tiamat, or as the conscious grid of Gaia. And as they are giving me everything that we need to know on a conscious level, I'm bringing it into our conscious collective, and I've been doing this kind of a like light work, as you can say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when we were when I was talking about this at the beginning of the show, the way how I sort of introduced part of it was, without getting too much into the story, was the idea that we're going to be talking like a little bit about like Agartha, and you know, Agartha being like the hollow earth, the inner realms, as you just referred to them as, and let's keep painting this picture for me. I mean, I feel that there's not really too much need for me to ask too many questions, but rather just to, you know, keep this moving along. So maybe just try to explain to the people, even if they're presuming that they're people who might have like no idea what you were talking about within these moments. Just explain to us your experiences and explain to us a bit more about like the inner realms and what they are relative to like where we are, you know, Hollow Earth and stuff.
It's not more about how and where the Hollow Earth is right now. Let's just say that's yesterday. What's going on right now is what it's going to be. It's going to be as real as you can see the sun, as you can see the sky, as you can see your neighbor's house right now. Now, the inner realms, my message is it's going to be here. Now, all the entire other text that is supported and that giving proof of it is actually like a secondary. Because what they're telling me is continue your inner work. You're going to start seeing very, very strong confirmations from the outside. So it's not about what the inner earth was as Agartha, Magartha, and all these huge inner realms that our ascended masters and other space galactic family have been actually living in, and they're bringing it forth for us to kickstart our own development. And we're having this huge project right now that my higher self is working on, and which I actually wanted to talk about. It's not only that all these things that I am experiencing, it's not about this. It's about continuing your own work inside. It's moving to the more and more now moment, the existence of this all-powerful, mysterious magic. You will be used and utilized like a tool for entire higher perspective of being. When you stop being in your mind ego perspective, it's not only that you will give good for yourself and the planet, but you will see your own divinity. We are all divine creatures. How much we have forgotten about it, and all that feeling of greatness hasn't become into our awareness. And we are in the process of switching into the now moment. All the work is being done on your higher level conscious being. You are just seeing it as a bit different reality right now. And as they merge, as they come together, we are going to have a really, really rapid boost. Now, the project that I was talking about are light chambers. It might sound really, really snuggy and weird, but there are personalized light chambers for every one of us. And we have been experiencing and we have been completing them. So everybody will have a rapid boost and will do their own conscious light body development in that light chamber. How about that for introduction?
Yeah. Sounds pretty nifty.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, even still, I'm sure there would be some people who would hear that and they would just be like, yeah, okay, whatever, like it doesn't sound like something that's like tangible for them. Like, is that something that we can accomplish? I mean, in addition to just sort of like taking your word for it or anything, like, is there anything more that you can put into context for us? Like, like just really to try to like paint this picture, because I mean, kind of like what you said, like there's what's happening here, and then there's like kind of like what's happening on like higher dimensions that we don't really see, so to speak. And that's always something that I've always thought about, that like what sort of happens in this reality sort of like crystallizes down from like the higher dimensions. But again, kind of going back to like the Agartha thing, like I'm so interested in the idea of like hollow earth and stuff like that, and not to get too far just into that topic, but just in the idea that there has been like interaction with like entities like who have like come from hollow earth or so to speak. But anyways, I think you were going to say something. So.
Yeah, your response, because I can feel I have to say first, all of these people who have gathered today and listening to this show, being a part of this show, they're very, very high level conscious vibratory beings. So no more explanation is needed as to those people looking into their heart space and feeling what it means for them. And I can sense this and I can see it, and there is no like this painting of picture needed as a person who doesn't know what's going on. These people involved know exactly what's going on. Would you agree to yourself?
There's a decent amount of them that sort of have it. They've connected quite a few of the dots up to this point. But I mean, like even still though, I mean, how much do any of us really know? But I mean, I always try to approach things like in terms of like relativity, I guess you could say, like, and sort of trying to understand like higher dimensions, like how do you explain like what the higher dimensions are? Like, in order to explain what the higher dimensions are, you have to compare it to what we're already familiar with. So, that's where I say like like this density is super solid. Then the higher dimensions are more etheric and more cloudy, and you can go through objects and things like that. And I guess like and it's just always interesting because when we think like higher dimensions, like we don't really think of like the idea of like the going inwards sort of thing, but even in the sense that like how do we explore our inner space? Like we go into our mind. How does the earth explore its inner space? Like it goes into its core, into its heart, which literally in this case would be like the hollow earth. I'm sort of thinking about this as I'm saying it, to be honest. I mean, but you tell me, like I mean, just more about like what you think or what you have to say, like just in terms of like can you like have you literally had like conversations with entities from this hollow earth dimension?
Yes. And oh my God, how much of it? Not only in the inside hollow earth residence, but outside. I have had.
But I was just going to say, have these like experiences been primarily within dreams, or like where's the sort of dividing line?
Yeah, the dividing line is what I started with. I have this really weird switch that I cannot explain. When I squeeze my eyes really in, I can switch realities. And this is something that I just cannot relate to, because that's what I was starting, that I have come here to do this really fast pop, lock, stock, get okay with life, get okay with the social structure, and now let's just do your stuff. You can't explain it to anybody. Better just give them hope. So my message, yes, the question that you asked, I have actually physically talked to all these very relevant creatures, entities that have come into my own consciousness field with my own switching. When I do this switching, I sit down in meditation, I chillax, relax, do my breathing, and at some point it's like exactly like dreaming, like you said. It becomes this really vague, but this really gentle feeling of somebody like blowing wind on you, but it's the feeling of love, and it's the courage that switches all inside these realities. You can do that all day long if you want to, and I've been experiencing this for the past year, like up to 18 hours a day, and there's a lot that I have done. There's a lot to be done, but the most important part of this is that this is actually more about you. As it's really weird to get your head up to, but once you have used the term synchronicity a lot. I like it, but the entire way synchronicity works is that we have our own personal development, everybody, and it's all cramped together, perfectly synchronized. So as you develop, I'm developing exactly the same way. As you change yourself, you have changed yourself as the same way. And now the inside, and feeling the inside of yourself, is feeling your existence. And now that is the truth. That is becoming away from the mindset, and that is becoming more aware of who you now have to be. So, yeah, wherever we're going to end up, it's going to be just fine. That's my message, and we already saw it today as well. And I'm just coming in with this higher perspective, my own experience, and I'm gonna just tell you that everybody, chill down, take 2 breaths. We're okay. Yo. Now I lost you, for sure. Something happened.
Check.
Okay.
Am I back?
Now you're back.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what just happened there. Glitch in the matrix, so. Okay, well, I was just going to say, so 4 minutes left in the show. Risto, I know what you're saying. You're saying, like, you don't want to just, like Hollywoodize, like, what you experience, but if we can just sort of, like, do that, like, just sort of, to stimulate the visualization and the creative aspect of our mind, and sort of like think about like what was it like for you to experience like the hollow earth, or to be able to like talk with these masters, like just in words, you know, explain the ineffable for us.
Okay, it's unimaginable. First of all, the entire communication is emotion based. So when you approach an entity, you start dripping, you start vibrating, your hands, your entire body, your sense, it's going bananas. You're going to start feeling actual love. And the love is not only because in the feeling of you, it's going to be in every cell of you. And it's like you've already so tender and gentle from everywhere that no matter what the topic is, no matter what the word is, it will only make it bigger. It will only make it better. And how Agartha looks is magical. All the entire colors of how these entire realms have emerged together, there's like piece to piece. It's like a computer game. And the people in it are like huge NPCs that don't have real rules. So they can change their looks, they can change their colors while you're talking to them. They can change the entire reality around you, like a bubble, while you're talking to them. And I have to just say, the picture is just, the main words are color, emotion, and oh my god.
Yeah, man. Like it's funny, man, because again, like part of us knows this. And like as you're talking about it, it just sort of like brings me back to that place, and just like fragments of the memories that I have, that I know of those experiences, like, you know, where you're like talking to people and just like, yeah, because you're in that space, going back to what I was talking about in terms of like dimensions, you know, like thoughts can create more immediately within like this inner world, this inner realm space, because it is very similar to like the dream space, the astral planes in that sense. So I mean, yeah, like, you know, like imagine like a video game, you're like, what do I want to look like? My thoughts project what I want to look like, you know, like what do I want to see, like create this and stuff. And it's just like this next level of communication. But yeah, that's cool, man. Were there did you see a lot of crystals in Hollow Earth?
Yeah, well, let's just say that whatever you see, you cannot say what it is, but it's shiny and it does a lot of color.
Yeah, totally, man. Yeah, like crystals are always something that fascinated me, because this is like literally out of like Aldous Huxley's Doors of Perception, but he talks about like how crystals themselves are like glimpses of those like higher etheric spaces, like even just in the way that they glimmer, and they're just like very beautiful to us. Like by looking at them, we're just like, wow, that looks really cool, and it's just because that's actually reminiscent of like the higher etheric realms where they come from and where we come from as well. So now, Risto, we are just wrapping up the show here, so we're in like the last minute of it. Okay. So for everybody who wants to connect with Risto on Facebook, I'll post his link into the show notes as well, and be sure to check out Paradigm Shift Estonia, even if you may not actually be in Estonia. And yeah, Risto's Facebook is facebook.com/Mazing, so MAASING, and I'll post a link for that into the live chat. And again, guys, join us for the after party, and I'll post the link up for that in the live chat as well as on the Facebook page. Just look for it on the Facebook page. So facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Radio, and you'll see it there. And Risto has added his link into the live chat as well. And yeah, good job, everyone. Like I'm really satisfied with how this episode went, and it's always a pleasure. And thank you guys once again for tuning in. And ParadigmShiftCentral.com, all the websites, GoFundMe.com/Journey to Lucidity. And Risto, 20 seconds. Anything else you want to say?
I love you all. Let's do this. This is the last final strip. Let's do this.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it big, team. Let's do it big. So,
all right.
2013. We got this. All right, guys. Skull Babylon signing off. See you guys in the future. Good job. Talk to you later. Bye.